Good afternoon and welcome to the African Heritage Diaspora Television, still the #1 voice for Africa in the diaspora. My name is Prince Tunde Adetunji. The city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia is agog for almost 36 hours ago when we have His Excellency Jinping, the chairman of the African Union Commission in Addis Ababa, visiting the state of Georgia and the city of Atlanta. Why? There is a lot to say. It is now Africa matters. Africa is the future. We have said it several times since the last Olympics in 1996 that there will be a time when the global community will look forward to African nations. We are glad to have an eminent personality who God has chosen to steer the leadership of African Union Commission. He is one of the most busiest person in the world today, but he had time for everything that has progress for Africa. His Excellency Jinping is my guest at the studio in Atlanta today. You are welcome, Your Excellency, to this program.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your Excellency, there are so many things that has been very positive about your administration since the inception as the chairperson of the African Union Commission. You were a career diplomat who have steered the position at the United Nations, and you work with the former president of Gabon, President Omar Bongo. Now, since you became the chairperson of the African Union Commission, we have seen a tremendous landmark progress. Please tell our viewers what your mission, your vision, your goal, and your achievement has been since you started.
Well, first of all, we have divided our activities in 4 major pillars.
Okay.
One of these pillars are peace and security, to bring Africa in peace and security. This is an important pillar,
okay,
as you know what we are doing now.
Right.
With the situation in some African countries. The second pillar is development.
Okay.
Because it's difficult to have peace without development and development without peace.
Okay.
They work together. So we need to develop the continent, and we are working in partnership with many other countries or continent. The third pillar is what we call the shared values. Democratization, good governance, rule of law, fighting corruption, helping our continent to have a renaissance and good governance.
Good.
The fourth pillar is the reinforcement of our capacity building of our institutions, of our nations, and these are the fourth pillar, which we are we have divided our action in these 4 pillars.
Okay.
Now today, as you know, I'm visiting United States and Atlanta, and yourself and the Heritage Foundation, because we are establishing partnerships with various parts of the world. We have established with the European Union, as you know, a very strong partnership. We have established with Turkey, with China, with India, with Japan, with South Korea. Now we are also establishing a strong partnership with America.
Okay.
And in this context, the diaspora is one of our main targets, because the diaspora has become, as you know,
yes,
the 6th region of the African Union.
Right. Well, Your Excellency, thank you very much for this explanation. It really cut across all the nooks and corners of the activities of the African Union Commission. Now, let's go into the specifics. Since you became the chairperson of the African Union in 2008, you've transformed and you've changed so many things. And we see the progress physically. You've been able to maintain the attitude of dialogue and also consultation with so many things, issues, and before making the decision. And tell us on the end road, what has it been, the activities has been in that area? Like, we have the issue in Africa right now of election, of unrest, and also of democratization, and also of economic. What has the issue been?
Well, in one of each pillar,
Yes.
which I've just mentioned, we have several activities.
Yes.
In the field of peace and security, we have been trying, as I told you, bring peace to the continent.
Right.
Nowadays, we are in Somalia. Somalia is a country which has been abandoned by the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
It is a country without any state, without any institutions. So we are there with our army, our soldiers, to establish, peace and security, and to have a state with normal institutions, a country, a president, an army. But also that we are in Sudan, in Darfur, in southern Sudan, trying also there to bring peace and security to that country.
Okay.
In the field of elections, that we are monitoring all the elections in the continent.
Good.
In each of the 53, now 54 nations,
Yes.
we are monitoring the election there to prevent violence and to make it a credible election, credible.
Okay.
And in some cases, we had, as you know, the constitutional order has been in trouble with coup d'etat. We, in all these countries, we bring back the constitutional order.
Okay.
The last one was in Niger,
Niger.
where after 1 year after a coup, election came, credible, monitored by the international community and ourselves, and the new civil president has been democratically elected.
Okay.
In the field of development, we are trying to improve the situation in the continent.
Good.
For instance, concerning the science and technology, we are building a Pan-African university
Okay.
with a very high level standard.
Good.
With 5 centers of excellences in each of the region. It will help our students to remain in the country, to be trained in the country, to remain there and to work in the country.
Okay.
We are also developing the infrastructure, road, energy, all type of infrastructure in the continent.
Okay.
So development to improve trade, to improve inter-African relations.
Okay.
There is a need to have inter-African infrastructure.
Good, good. It cut across the fact that we have the Francophone, the Anglophone, the Lusophone, the Italian, the German, the Spanish territory in Africa. But under the umbrella of AU, we see a lot of unity among all the countries. We see a lot of understanding, common interaction, networking within the continent. And also we see a lot of progression in the area of economy, as you've seen. We've seen the NEPAD, we've seen the ADB, Africa Development Bank. Now we see so many countries working together under the parameter of the AU. Now with the other counterpart like the EU, European Union, and there's some other organizations in other area in America, how have you been able to work together with this organization?
Well, first of all, you know that our nations need assistance.
Yes.
We have to strengthen our relations between us first.
Yes.
to be able to speak with one voice,
Yes.
and to be listened to by the rest of the world.
Right.
Because one single nation voice will not be heard by the rest of the world.
That's right.
But the power of 54 nations,
Yes.
you cannot avoid listening to. We have 54 nations, which means when we go to vote in UN, we have 54 votes
Okay.
to propose to the others. So this is one of the important role we have among ourselves in reinforcing our collective power, in reinforcing our collective negotiations ability.
Okay.
Now, with the rest of the nation, with the European Union, you know that we are very close to Europe.
Yeah.
We are separated just by the Mediterranean Sea.
That's right.
We are in the other side of the Mediterranean Sea. And in the past, we have been colonized by Europe. We use the language, as you've mentioned, French, English, Spanish, Portuguese. So we have established with them a certain number of cooperation
Okay.
for a long time now.
Okay.
But there is a need to develop this relationship,
That's right.
not only with Europe, but with the rest of the world, including America. That's why we are here also to strengthen our partnership and our relations with American. And inside of America, we have this diaspora,
Yes.
very dynamic diaspora. The diaspora is now the 6th region of the African Union. And next year we will have an important conference on this region to establish strong relationship with them and institutionalize this region. But we have also partnership with Asia, with India, with China, with Japan, with Korea.
Okay.
We are developing our partnership with the rest of the world.
Okay. Well, Your Excellency, that is very good. I think we see a lot of progress in this area. Now, the issue is there are so many organizations over the years that have worked so hard to promote the values of Africa. And it has come to realization now that the world is now embracing the fact that Africa matters and Africa is the future. Now, with this, we saw a lot of the Chinese progress in Africa, and we saw a lot of other countries that are also contributing immensely to to Africa. Now, the statement "Africa Matters," which has been championed by the Africa Heritage Foundation since 1996 Olympics, in order now to bring the core value of different projects for sustainable development in Africa, and also promoting initiative between the diaspora and Africa, and also bringing to the core what we call bring gain to now sustain the professionalism of Africa. What do you see this initiative to be, and how do you think this initiative will work directly and supported by the EU to a length whereby we can now start counting our blessing?
Well, first of all, I told you that the diaspora and people who remain in the continent belong
Yes.
to a same family.
Yes.
Secondly, I said the diaspora is one of our region. We
Yes.
have 5 regions in the continent
Yes.
and one outside of the continent, which is the diaspora. The relation with this diaspora has to be improved and strengthened, but
Right.
it is already a very important element
Yes.
for the development of the continent. You know, the remittances, money sent by the diaspora to the continent is now becoming more important than the assistance we are receiving from the developed countries.
Okay.
So you can see that the development of Africa will be also partly due to the action of the diaspora through the money they send back home, but through also in the future, even now, the investment they are doing in the continent. this investment should be reinforced and will be reinforced, because the level of the wealth of the diaspora is increasing in United States, in Europe, in Brazil, everywhere. You have a middle class and rich people now, which are members of the diaspora.
Right. Okay. Well, the statement Africa matters and Africa is the future. How far will you defend this statement, Your Excellency?
Well, you know that Africa today is composed of more than 1 billion of inhabitants.
Good.
And in few years, in 2025, the population of the continent will be roughly 1.4, 1.5 billion of inhabitants.
Right.
That's the size of China today. It's the size of India today. And you can measure the importance of that continent, the number of consumers in that continent, which means that the investors will come because they will find there a big, big market. But this is the first factor. The second factor is that the size of the continent is 10 times the size of India, 10 times the size of Europe, and 4 times the size of China. You can see the importance of that continent, where you have where you have a lot of raw materials, full of raw materials, oil, diamonds, gold, all the deposits, iron ore, manganese, this is one of the most important deposits of raw materials.
Okay. Well, Your Excellency, I think that's a very good and valid statement. And now, you have been in the city of Atlanta since Saturday, 16th of April. And you have done a lot of activities. You have made a lot of appearances and also make a courtesy visit. You deliver lectures. You visited so many places. Now, Africa Heritage Foundation has put into place the opportunity to bridge the gap and build the bridge since 1996, and now promoted the positive image of Africa in the diaspora. And this is why some of your activities here in Atlanta since 3 days ago has signified the endorsement of the positive things going on. I know you have visited and gave tribute to the Martin Luther King of blessed memory. You also visited CDC this morning. Then you addressed the Atlanta City Council. You as well have a dinner last night to make you the honorary citizen of Georgia, and also address the people of Georgia in the diaspora on the area of why they need to now see Africa in a different light. With all this activity, what is your impression?
Well, first of all, I think that honestly I should pay tribute to yourself, also to your organization, Heritage Foundation, for what you have been doing since there to promote the relationship between the diaspora in particular, but also the United States in general with Africa. This is an important role which we continue to ask our brothers and sisters of this part of the world to do. And by saying so, I would like not only to pay tribute to you, but to thank you very much for that, and to ask you to continue to do so.
Thank you.
That's why I think that I'm going to give you a reward for all the activities you are doing for us by giving you this medal. Okay. For the cooperation between African.
Okay.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Yes, before we go, because there is a continuation of this, I know this signifies that you identify our ambassadorial role in the area of diaspora for doing, or what does this signify?
Well, it's in recognition for what you have been doing,
Okay,
and also to ask you to continue to do so.
okay,
And we will continue to work with you. And as I told you, we need to exchange how we will collaborate with you in the future.
okay. Yeah, thank you, Your Excellency. I think we are really very grateful for this golden recognition that you have given and your appreciation. Now, we want to take the African nations far, and also we want the African Union to be physically heard in the diaspora. We're talking about the area of bastardization of news and information coming from the continent. There are so many news that the Western media have bastardized. Now, you are the number one important person in Africa today because you officiate the administration of African nation. What do you think can be done in order to make the Western media to see the positive side of Africa?
This is one of the struggles of Africa
Yes.
in general. First of all, I think in the dialogue of nations,
Yes.
there is exchange of opinion, exchange of views, exchange of information.
Right.
Till now, the North speak and we just listen to.
Right.
The North talk about us
Yes.
with their vision of us, with their interests. But we think that we have ourselves to promote our own image,
Yes.
like they are doing with our own media. This is very important, that the voice of the South,
Yes.
the voice of Africa,
Yes.
should be listened
Yes.
by the rest of the world, like while we ourselves are listening the voice of the rest of the world, in order to correct the image which is given to our continent.
Yeah, Your Excellency, you make a very good and valid point. And it is very important that the African Heritage Foundation, with what we have instituted, communication is very important. And they said information is power. When you tell the people the right thing, then they act the right way. I want you to seize the opportunity today to launch and pronounce the African Heritage Foundation in Atlanta as an asset of information dissemination and also promotion of positive image of African nations to the benefit of human beings. How will you be able to see that one or endorse that to the African nation?
No, I'm really endorsing it. We are endorsing all voices which can promote the African image. And your foundation is already doing that. So that's why I told you that I pay tribute to you, and I encourage you to continue to do so. And we are ready to collaborate with you in order to...
Well, Your Excellency, this interview has been very extensive and it has touched so many parts. Now, you are going to be giving a lecture in another 15 minutes at the Morehouse College, and you'll be giving another award, the Presidential Award, which is very, very significant. Eminent personality, because we know those who have been the alumni of this university, like the great Martin Luther King. Now, what is your impression about this?
Well, I'm honored. It's a great privilege for me and a great honor for me, not only in my own capacity, but in the capacity in my capacity as President of the African Union Commission. It is an honor for our continent. It's a privilege for our continent. It's also a great moment for cooperation between Africa and its diaspora.
Your Excellency, the youth of today are leaders of tomorrow. There are youth today who are looking to put their footstep into the legacy of people like you who have done well. What is your advice to the youth of today watching this program, both in Africa and in the diaspora?
Well, I think that so many people here have given the way how our youth could behave. You know, you have mentioned Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., you have mentioned also a certain number of others, Kwame Nkrumah, you know, so many eminent personalities have shown the way to our youth. I think that they should continue and promote the future of our continent.
Viewers, this has been another glorious day. This television here in Atlanta is a voice for the diaspora, and it's a voice for the voiceless. The African leader has said it, that where there is understanding, there is progress. And where there is cooperation, there will always be mutual progress. There is always the need for us to bridge the gap between the indigenous, the intimate, and the distant Africans. Between United States and Africa, there is always a collaboration for us to move forward. And with leaders like this sitting and also talking openly to our youth of today, we have quite a lot to share. It is a goal for Africa in United States of America, and it's a goal for America in Africa. The best is yet to come. Vision is greater than ambition. To us, Africa matters, and Africa is the future. Your Excellency, we are grateful for your appearance in this station, and we thank you very much for the good work you are doing. We pray that the wisdom of God will continue to be with you in all your endeavor.
Thank you.
Now, the best is yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you.